Hello everyone, Silverconundrum here, and I'm here today to talk to you about what is M3 money supply and how does it work in a nutshell. So, M3 money supply is a measurement of money supply that includes M2 as well as our large time deposits, institutional money, market funds, short-term repurchase agreements, and larger liquid assets. M3 measurements include assets that are less liquid than other components of the money supply and are referred to as near money. Now, if you remember what near money was, near money is things that are extremely liquid. An example would be gold, silver, coins, anything that you can actually liquidate almost on the spot. So, with that being said, these things are closely related to financials in a larger financial institution and corporation. So M3 really measures the broad picture of things. Not for you and me, but like governments, big corporations, the stock markets, things like that right there. The money supply, sometimes referred to as the money stock, has many classifications of liquidity. The total money supply includes all of the currencies in circulation as well as liquid financial products such as CDs or certificates of deposit. I mean, we already know what CDs are. We know they're, well, some of you may not, so bear with me for a second. So a certificate of deposit is basically a product offered by banks and credit unions that provide the interest rate premiums in exchange to their customers who agree to leave a lump sum of money in their banks, and then they're going to pay them back at interest over a period of time. And that's just it in a nutshell. But the M3 classification is a broad measure of the economy's money supply. It emphasizes money as a store of value more than a medium of exchange. So what it means is it's a store of value. How many dollars can buy me X product? So it's not about exchanging money to buy goods. It's how many goods can I buy with the supply that we have. Hence, it includes a less liquid assets of the M3. Less liquid assets such as, let's say, I'm trying to think of a good less liquid asset. CDs, bonds, things like that are less liquid. These assets would include those that are not easily convertible into cash and therefore are not ready to use or able to be used like immediately. Because it's going to take you a couple days to get your money out of a CD. You're going to take penalties. You're going to get paid taxes. They're actually set there for long term. Stocks, you can pretty much liquidate them at almost any given time nowadays. So with that being said, M3 was traditionally, and notice I say the word traditionally, used by economists to estimate the entire money supply within the economy and by central banks to direct money policy in order to control inflation, consumption, growth, liquidity over medium and long-term periods. So if you notice, I said the word traditionally. M3 money supply isn't even used anymore. They don't even use it because it's outdated. There's so much of it, they can't keep track of it. And the only reason we still have a M3 money supply, in quotations, is because they use it for tracking and trending purposes. Because that's how they used to measure the money, and they use it now just as a reference point. It doesn't mean anything at all. So that's just one of those things. One of the things that we actually use now is what's called money zero maturity. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit later on about what that is. But basically, that is just the preferred measure of the money supply that we use nowadays. So some of the takeaways from all of what I just told you is that the M3 is a collection of money supply that includes M2 money as well as long-term deposits, institutional money market funds, short-term repurchase agreements, and larger liquid funds. M3 is closely associated with larger financial institutions and corporations within small businesses and individuals. So basically, like I said, this is mostly for the big guys, not us, not mom and pop shops. M3 was traditionally used by economists to estimate an entire money supply within the economy by the government and direct policy and control inflation over medium and long periods, which they don't use it no more. As you guys already figured out, M3 is dead, And inflation to the moon, it's coming. We all see it around the corner with all the money that they're printing out right now. That's why they're having to use the new matrix. So as a measure of money supply, M3 has largely been replaced with money zero maturity. So again, M3 really doesn't exist. It's just there for tracking and trending purposes. So M3 is still published as a source of economic data, but mostly for the ease of historical comparisons, like we already talked about. Guys, M3 money supply and M1 money supply don't exist anymore. They've been replaced because we have so much money that has been printed. I mean, the currency that we have right now is just stupid. There was a question that was asked to me not too long ago, and it talked about how many grains of sand are there in the Sahara Desert. Well, if you know the answer or you know the calculation, cool. I don't know. I'm not that smart, and I don't know. I won't even begin to know how to fathom the answer to that. But the statement of that was, if you can calculate that, then you can calculate the duration of fiat currencies. Basically meaning that fiat currencies are like sands in the desert. They can make as many as they need, and you'll never count them all because you'll never comprehend the numbers that they're using now. So anyway, M3 money supply, like I said, guys, is just something very simple, very easy. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you later. I know it's a little bit long, but it gets the point across. Talk to y'all later, guys. Bye.